Hello everyone, I all hope you had a very much of a great day and a very much quietly of a beautiful day indeed, guys. As you can see, guys, today's weather is quietly beautiful and also very much quietly skyly clear, very much beautiful, and also but still quietly coldish as well. Quietly coldish as well, since I was quietly able to sense the cold when I was busy walking my dog universe and also busy doing the washing my chores as well, which is the reason I was able to shoot this late as well, guys. But regardless of that, guys, I all hope you're quietly just home and I all hope you're quietly enjoying your day and your great, blessed weekend. I'm very thankful and very grateful for you guys staying with me on my journey and on also on my journey in shooting these supervillains and these heroes and these monsters and these creatures. But be assured that there's more and more and more to come. Literally meaning more and more to come. Oh, one more thing, guys. There's been a little bit much of a confusion when I shot the yesterday's characters. So I think I'm the one who did a confusion when I was shooting the yesterday's characters, since I'm the one who's quietly, my mind is quietly not exactly in a right thinking state, since I was able to see that out today and also see everything else out today, that I actually might have gone far too much ahead by shooting the other characters that we haven't done. But regards to that, guys, I'll exactly reshoot them again so that you can actually have two characters in different episodes. Regardless, that will be my mistake for me to actually tell you for that, with the whole confusion and stuff, since my writing is quietly not that clear yet. Anyway, despite that, guys, enjoy your blessed weekend and your great day. For those of you who are actually watching shorts, you'll receive the shorts video. And for those of you who are watching the TikTok, you'll receive the TikTok video. And from those of you who are watching the long video in YouTube, you'll receive it on Monday morning. When I wake up, I'll actually upload it for you guys on Monday morning as well. So regardless of that, guys, enjoy your blessed weekend and your great day. And I'll see you on next week, Monday. So let's begin. On today's episode, we're to speak about the powerful, dark, sinister Red Queen, who is known by another alias, the most powerful, dark, ancient Red Witch of the Red Empire, who is the wife of the legendary, ancient, dark, formidable Red King, who is after all a member of an ancient secret society of supervillains. That is, after all, the let me actually think about it now. The one that I actually said before. It's either, yeah, I think it's the Court of Nature that is exactly part of the organization, which I exactly mentioned to you guys on the other previous episodes on the formidable Dark Red King, which is known as the Court of Nature as well. That has a sole clarificational goal of conquering, controlling known worlds and known civilizations, and also as well as great and also as well as the sacred great nations of the sacred universe and of the sacred world as well, in the process to furthering their goals and their ultimate plan for universal domination and for world domination as well, in order for them to pass their greatest dark influence and their control over many civilization and throughout many secretive nations as well. In the process, the Red Dark Witch Queen is very ancient and very well known throughout Red Empire history. And throughout Red Empire history, she's well known for her dark, powerful red magic. She's quietly well known for her dark, sinister red magic of dark magical powers, which is quietly known as a very much indestructible and very destructive power of dark magic, unlike any other magical source of dark magic that is conjured up by the dark wizards, the dark warlocks, the dark druids, the dark witches, and the dark faithful, and also witchcaster, and also the most powerful dark witches that I've quietly mentioned before to you guys, as well as Mary, and the other sinister dark witches, such as the Dark Sisters, the Time Witches, and all of the others that I've mentioned to you. She's quietly different from them, and she's quietly the opposite of them as well. She possesses red, dark, powerful, formidable dark magic as well in the process. So let's get right into it. The Red Queen was quietly a very great, beautiful, sadistic woman with a very powerful long-term ambition in order to remain by the side of the Red King, who before he was quietly known as the Red King, was quietly known as the Red Prince. To do that, at the end of the stage, she and the Red Prince fell in love Together, the both of them exactly studied through sacred history's ancient archives about the formidable and ancient great Lord of Magic, who is the original Lord of Magic, and how he and Amber became the most powerful ancient super villains of all throughout sacred history, and that they are the most powerful, dangerous couple of all the other ancient couples as well. Throughout the great years of the following lives of the previous life, the Red Prince and the Red Queen will be selected to becoming the next one in line to ruling the Red Empire, which the Red King which the Red Prince who actually became the most formidable member of the ancient organization that I previously told you about, and him being part of that organization known as the Court of Nature, he exactly ascended and rose to occasion to his people, and he was quietly named the new Red King after his father was quietly dying on his very, very deathbed as well. After that, he promised his father that he will make sure that the legacy of the Red Empire and its true mission and its goals will heavily bear fruit no matter what and no matter through the circumstances or the heartaches, as well as the Red Queen was also quietly standing right beside the Red King, right beside the new Red King who's about to be ascending to the throne of the Red Empire, and also hear the words of the previous Red King who was also dying on his very, very deathbed as well. On the very, 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 very day of his great coronation, the entire Red Empire Armada and the rest of their forces were all there as the great sacred stages of the sacred world began naming the new successor of the Red Empire, and the Red Prince became the formidable new Red King. As I actually showed you his armor and how he looks in real life. I do exactly have his image and his picture in the other episode, in the other long episode in YouTube, which you'll be able to find in there in order for you guys to actually get a clear clarification on the villain that I'm actually talking about. You'll be able to find in there on the other episodes in the YouTube channel as well. But despite that, guys, the Red King exactly ascended to the throne of the Red Empire, and he began ruling it with an iron fist. Through all of that, his advancements and his ideas and his true intellect and 12th level intellect with the Red Queen, known also as well by another alias as a formidable dark Red Witch, also exactly assisted him by giving him her ideas and her greater intellectual ideas and intelligence, where he was able to find super sacred engineers to creating highly destructive and highly modified battle airship fleets, and highly adaptable and greater advanced battle cruisers that bear the symbol of the Red Empire. The symbol of the Red Empire is like a letter of an R representing red, and with a colorful circle that's quietly with the word imprinted on the colorful circle with the rest of the battle cruisers and with the rest of the highly advanced airship fleet and the hot air balloons. The symbol is exactly quietly black, and it also stays on the red color, which also is quietly imprinted on the red color of the entire battle cruiser armada, which symbolizes the Red Empire nation as well. Through all that, and it's all thanks to the Red Queen and to her similar dark magic users of her forces known as the Red Druids and the Red Witches and the Red Faithful, who are her sinister dark magic users who've been helping her create destructive and highly compatible technology that the Red Empire also manages to remain the dominant ruling force in the entire sacred nation's history of all history and throughout the known universes. Even if it's not exactly against the Shadow Empire, but the Shadow Empire, guys, is one of the most powerful, despite the Red Empire becoming the less powerful, but it's still also the most powerful. As you can see, it's a huge competition between the two empires that are quietly at war with each other. Regardless of that, either way, the Red Queen was able to give birth throughout the following years of the near early centuries, giving the Red King 3 children and 3 formidable children, 1 Red Prince and 2 daughters, who also have the pure strain of the great bloodline of the Red Empire's true bloodline of its royalty, and who also possesses their mother's great, unique, and formidable power, which is dark red magic. Dark red magic, red dark magic, meaning The red dark magic is quietly red, not exactly in purple, as you quietly have also guys have seen in different series and cartoons. But this type of red dark magic is red, not exactly in purple color, like the dark magic users of the Druids that I quietly previously mentioned to you, that the lightning is purple and all of that. This type of magic is red, solely red, representing the Red Empire's true bloodline and its true origin. Solely red to its power and to its core. The Red Prince did not exactly inherit his mother's powers, but rather inherited his mother's immortality and his father's good skills of hand-to-hand combat and swordsmanship and also marksmanship as well. Throughout the following centuries, the Red Queen was able to exactly tell her followers to train her daughters in training her daughters to learning to training her daughters in how to in training her daughters to finding a way for them to harness the great forbidden destructive power of dark magic, which was very quietly good for them, which they were able to master with full ace in within the ages of 5 years, which they grew very, very highly, a true prodigy to the Red King, as the Red King very quietly grew fond of his heirs, of his future heirs to the Red Empire, and as well of his sons as well, realizing that they do possess the greatest genetic abilities and the greatest genetic abilities and powers as well, which were passed down by their ancestors and also as well to their very, very parents as well. Despite that, the Red Queen agreed that her daughters will be trained by the dark magic users known as the Red Druids and the Red Witches and the Red Faithful, who also have a secret dark magical planet and world and a college that is quietly on the fringes of the sacred magic universe that will not exactly able to for the enemies to track them down, which they managed to create some sort of a magical invisible glamour barrier which hides the college and the rest of the school from being tracked and from being located by the forces of the 4 nation hunters and of the 7 nation hunters of the 2 nation hunters as well in the process. Regardless of that, the Red King agreed with the Red Queen that the daughters are powerful, greater, sinister witches, and that they need proper guidance and proper training to master their abilities and their powers, because one way or another in the future, he will exactly assign them to a very, very dangerous and a very powerful mission, because they will come up against one of the most dangerous and unknown obstacles, which will soon exactly emerge one way or another. And the Red Queen completely agreed and fully heavily complied with the Red King's orders. While the Red Prince will be heavily to be sent, on the other side of the Red Empire's headquarters and hideouts in order to be trained to mastering his powers and his adaptabilities and his high evolving adaptabilities and his greater skills of hand-to-hand combat and all of that. While meanwhile, the Red Queen will continue ruling beside the Red King throughout the Red Empire as well for the following years and centuries to come. Throughout the following centuries and years to come, the Red Queen remained by the side of the Red King. She knew very, very full well that she accepted the invitation of Lord Jackson Knight, who is a founder and leader of the Court of Nature, for them to exactly share the unique talents and the resources for them to exactly share the unique talents and resources, since the two of them share a common interest and a common goal to conquering and ruling and manipulating wars, events, conflicts from the shadows of the sacred world and from the shadows of humanity, which the Red Queen knew that her fellow husband and king is now a member of the most powerful, dangerous, ancient, shadowy, criminal elite organizations that are very quietly unknown throughout sacred history, and some of the other ancient criminal secret societies of the supervillains are also known, but some of them are literally unknown, and they did that deliberately in order to keep their existence very much quietly hidden from the sacred authorities and from the alien governments and nations of the entire known universe and of the rest of the galaxy as well. Regardless of that, the Red Queen continued to supply the court of nature with destructive and more incompatible soldiers, warriors, and greater mercenaries and assassins throughout the following centuries to come as well, remaining by the side of the Red King as well. Within the 1 year of the Great Civil War between the monsters of the Dark Dimension and the forces of the 4 nation hunters that were quietly battling with the monsters of the Dark Dimension, the Red Queen exactly entered a sinister dark crystal cave where she was summoned by powerful, dangerous, shadowy astral projection of one of the most dangerous, unknown ancient super criminals who are quietly very secretive. And I'll tell you about them, guys, another day and another time. Literally another day and another time. But right now, she was quietly summoned by them. They were able to present themselves with a shadowy astral projection, but their eyes and their true appearances remain the same in order to conceal their identities and all of that. But their eyes, guys, still remain the same. Some of the other members' eyes are very terrifying, as each member eyes is a very some of the other members' eyes are very red, and the other members' eyes are very still human, and the other members' eyes are blue. Some are very purple, as in full colorful purple, while the others are still quietly hiding in the dark of the astral projection, which are quietly very much they cannot exactly be seen properly due to the shadowy astral projection that they managed to project to themselves as well. Regardless of that, the Red Queen told the four mysterious astral projections of the ancient, most powerful, dangerous criminals that the Red Empire is exactly making progress with its goals, with its future plans, and with its future preparation, and that everything else is going according to plan, the way it's supposed to be. The other astral projection told the Red Queen that they're well aware that her husband is an official member of the court of nature, and that it'll be wise for her to keep tabs on the operation and of their goals, which is very crucial for their sinister plan for it to bear fruit, which is one of their long-term plans that are needing to bear fruit for the far future that are about to come in order for them to furthering their goals and their plan. The White Queen agreed that she'll exactly do that, but she quietly tried to exactly reassure the members of the ancient criminal organization that her husband has managed to keep her out from the court of nature's future plans and goals, which she now knows that they are very much quietly meant to be secretive, not meant to be quietly to be highly open to all of his members of his family or members of the world gods of the Red Empire or any one of them. The other astral projection told the Red Queen that despite that you're still intelligent and very quietly devious and very quietly manipulative and very quietly highly influential, you can still find a way to gain access to the ranks of the court of nature, and you must still exactly do so. It's very important and very crucial that they gain insight, knowledge, what the sinister ancient organization and also court of nature is exactly, what its true plans and what are its true goals and purposes, which is very crucial, that in order for them to proceed with their plans, they need to know exactly what their top competitor is actually planning. And the Red Queen exactly promises them that she'll do all she can in order to inform them with everything that the court of nature is planning. After that, she told them that she has her own plans and her own goals and her own mission that are very crucial for them to take place. After that, the four astral projections began to disappear and told the Red Queen that they'll soon exactly contact or communicate with her in a different time and in a different year. But regards to that, they hope to hear the update and the outcome of what exactly comes up next throughout the following centuries and the years to come. They disappeared. After that, they exactly manages to literally disappear from the astral projections and all of that and vanish within the cave. And the Red Queen decided to do so as well. On the actual 25th of February, the Red Queen was in the throne room with the Red King, as they were able to meet up with the warlords of the Red Empire, as they all were exactly not pleased with the death and the demise of the great and powerful, formidable Lord of Magic, who is the original Lord of Magic of all, since he fell at the hands of the prophesied child known as Grayson Ferris Unity, who is known as the new Universal Man and who is the son of the original Universal Man and Universal Woman as well. Despite that, the other warlords and the Red King wasn't quietly too happy with the death and the demise of the original Lord of Magic, despite that they shared different goals and different missions, but they still respected him and they still exactly respected him and admired him, that he was also an inspiration to their love and an inspiration to their collaboration with the Red King and also with the Red Queen becoming true couple lovers of their own story as well, because they were literally inspired by Amber and Laurel becoming true destined couples that were able to remain so close to one another. Despite that, the Red King exactly told the Red Empire warlords that the plans and preparations of the Red Empire must begin taking place. Regardless of that, everything else must go on the way it was intended to be, and they must still furthering their goals and their plans. And the Red King began to agree with the Red Queen as well on that. On the 17th of March, the Red Queen was able to meet up with the dark magic users, the Red Druids, and the Red Witch, and the Red Faithful, which were only three of them, while the others were busy with the other experiments on the throne room. She exactly told the followers that it's time for them to begin the next step of the experiments, which is very crucial for the Red Empire to become highly powerful and highly invincible at any other cost. And the three of her followers begin that they'll tell the rest of the other followers of their groups to proceed on with the next phase of the plan, as they all began to agree on that. On the 28th of April, the Red Queen and the rest of her followers, the Red Druids and the Red Witches and the Red Faithful, were literally standing on top of the most powerful destructive crystals of all time, which the crystal itself was purple and the other crystal was red. Some of them were yellow, some of them were quietly blue. The Red Druids explained to the Red Queen that these crystals are one of the rarest of all rarest crystals, since some of them come from planet Yellow, which I told you that other planet Yellow was once after all conquered by the Shadow Empire during the centuries when before the Universal Heroes miraculously liberated it from Shadow Empire control, which became the allies of the Four Nation Hunters of the Intergalactic Coalition, showed that its inhabitants as well. Despite that, the Red Queen exactly told the Red Druids and the rest of our followers that she knows exactly where the crystals come from, and that it's time for them to use their power and their energy and their life forces in order to begin their sinister ritual and power once and for all. Despite of all of that, each dark magic user began standing on an ancient pentagram or some sort of a paragon, some sort of a pentagram or paragon, which I can't exactly describe that word exactly. On that entire symbol of that paragram held up ancient symbols of ancient powerful magical clans and formidable magical clans and great formidable ancient dark mythical creatures on it, as well as each magic user stood on the symbol of the paragrams as they all began conjuring up a dark sinister magical ritual, combining their dark magical powers, their dark red magical powers with scientific expertise, with the scientific magical expertise with dark magic altogether. Throughout that conversion of that dark magic, of that red dark magic, it created a huge dark red magical bubble, so big and so powerful. The Red Queen was able to literally let the red dark magical bubble of red magic to fly up into the atmosphere of the planet and to literally begin exploding on a huge catastrophic rate unlike any other. The energy of the red dark magic bubble was felt on the entire dead magical planet, which began exactly affecting it it on a huge destructive scale, as the entire world's lands and entire grass began dying and fading out of life completely. And the Red Queen seemed very surprised that her experiment notation did exactly began making full progress on that as well. And she told her followers that they're going to need to do more sinister experiments, highly dangerous and very highly crucial for the Red Empire to remain the dominant force. Now that the Shadow Empire is in total chaos and at war with itself due to the death and the demise of the original Lord of Magic and the great disappearance of the Universal Heroes in February, which was quietly the 15th, when they were fighting another sinister ancient force on the other side of the sacred universe, on the other side of the sacred universe, which is quietly a different sector far away from the known sector, which the Shadow Empire is quietly in control and the Four Nation Hunters are quietly fighting with as well. Despite that, she told her followers that they must begin with the other experiments notation, which is crucial for them to making sure that the Red Empire remains the dominant force in the entire known universe, especially throughout sacred history as well. On the 27 of May, the Red Queen was able to exactly meet up with the Red Prince on the great sinister hideout within the ancient forest. This forest is quite different from the other forest that I actually mentioned to you. This one had no statues or any crystal statues of monsters or anything of that. It rather, within the hideout itself, it actually had a statue of the previous predecessors of the Red Empire, who are the ancestors of the Red Empire, who are one of the most formidable, ancient, dangerous Red Empire warlords, queens, commanders, who are exactly unmentioned throughout history, and as well as a powerful dark red druid who was also quietly unmentioned throughout sacred history and throughout Red Empire history as well. Regardless of that, the Red Queen exactly met up with her son and exactly told her son that she's very quietly proud of his great abilities and powers that are fully rising to the occasion, and exactly told him that she'll be fully ready for his mission and for his assignment, which will soon come one way or another. And the Red Prince exactly told the Red Queen that he's officially ready to begin his mission and his true obligation to his people and to the rest of his empire as well, by any means necessary. And she was very pleased and very happy with his son's devotion and obligation to the entire Red Empire's mission and goal as well. On the 22 of June, on the 22 of June, the Red Queen was able to exactly meet up with her dark magic users on a different sinister Red Empire laboratory, which the laboratory quietly reside within the central headquarters of the Red Empire's volcanic islands and bases of operation, as well as all of that as well. Despite that, she was very quietly pleased that all of her experiments, such as monsters, creatures, she had many cryogenetic freeze stasis pods of weird objects, creatures, monsters that she's been experimenting with for the following centuries. For within the past few centuries, she's been experimenting with types of abomination of half of the vampire hand and the werewolf body and DNA and skins were all quietly jammed up in a cryogenetic freeze stasis pod. It had a different purple vibrational energy to the pod that was quietly glowing up, that no one else can't see the bodies or any types of the experiments or any of those hideous abominations that she's been slowly experimenting on. Regardless of that, she told her followers that they must exactly begin and re-examine the past experiments that they were able to exactly create in order to enhance the Red Empire army and soldiers by giving them the supernatural abilities and powers of the different types of supernaturals, aliens, superhumans, 4 Nation hunters, 7 Nation hunters, and magical creatures in order to enhance their capabilities and their physical powers and their greater physical powers, and also their greater spiritual powers, and of the real energy of the real dark physical powers and the abilities as well in the process. And the Red Druids and the Red Witches and the Red Faithful began to agree that it is after all time to carry out the experiments that they actually haven't exactly completed as well. On the 20th of July, the Red Queen was quietly busy with wild energy and busy with shadow energy, able to exactly infuse herself with more shadow energy, and with wild energy. She became so powerful that she began to glow a mysterious red energy, vibe, a powerful dark energy vibe of herself, and she became very highly pleased and very happy with herself that her powers are beginning to evolve and they're also beginning to adapt as well. On the 25th of August, the Red Queen created a different astral projection of herself, which was able to reconvene with her previous mysterious associates on a different cave. This time, this cave had different ancient mythical statues of monsters, godlike creatures, and different vampire warlords and werewolf warlords and sinister fairies and evil monsters, all were quietly standing in different views of the caves, all were quietly standing in different sides of the caves, and some of them were quietly standing on the middle of the cave, which was quietly revealed as one of the most powerful evil warlords of all time and of all throughout sacred history as well. Despite that, she was able to exactly reveal herself through the shadowy astral projection that she's managed to conjure up, and the rest of the mysterious associates began to ask the Red Queen how far is the progress of the operation since they last spoke on a very different years of time. The Red Queen exactly told her associate that she's doing the best that she can in order to speed up the process of the goal and also the operation, but she's doing everything else she can in her power. Her associates also quietly told her that they're well aware that she's busy with the experiments notation that she quietly exactly manages to exactly leave behind throughout the following centuries of the great sacred galactic wars, and they're well aware that she's busy with enhancing and giving greater enhancement abilities to the 4 Nation hunter, to the great Red Empire soldiers and warriors as well in a process. Regardless of that, the Red Queen exactly told the four mysterious associates that she's doing this for the Red Empire's future and goal. And the four mysterious associates began telling her that it would be wise not to underestimate the universal heroes and the threat they pose to the Red Empire's future and goal as well in the process. And the Red Queen exactly told the mysterious associate she has a very sinister plan in mind in order to deal with those heroes. One that she's manages to come up with a sinister idea in order to destroy them once and for all. On the actual 21 of September, the Red Queen and the rest of the Red Druids and the rest of the Red Witches, Red Faithful, were hovering on the magical world's planets, or literally hovering on the magical world's planets, standing on some dark red crystal as they were quietly levitating on it, as well as they were completely ready to besiege the entire magical world with a dark red magic. Before they were about to do that, the Universal Magic Heroes and Universal Magic Girl were literally on the planet as Universal Magic Girl was able to detect an ancient sinister force literally hovering on top of the planet's atmosphere, and told the rest of her members of her team that they must go up there and confront that force of evil. Right away, they fought with the Red Druids and with the Red Witches and with the Red Faithful, literally head to head, as the other magical creatures exactly stood beside the other great heroes and fought up against one of the most powerful, dangerous, sinister magic users of all time, as Universal Magic Girl fought up against the ancient Red Queen, who is known as another alias as the Dark Red Witch, and fought up against her. Through that end of that battle, the two of them realizes that they were literally evenly matched, and the Red Queen told Universal Girl that she's well aware of her reputation, completely well aware of her reputation and of her greatest reputation as a member of the Universal Heroes. It'll be wise not to underestimate her again. After that, she mysteriously teleported away, and the rest of her forces were destroyed and decimated in the process. Some of them literally escaped, but they were completely destroyed in the process, and their plans were successfully foiled. Universal Magic Girl told the rest of her members of her team and the allies of the Intergalactic Coalition of the Four Nation Hunters that now they are dealing with sinister, unknown forces of evil that are literally beginning to reveal themselves now that the original Lord of Magic has died and has passed away. Now they are all becoming highly activated, since he is now no longer posing a threat to their goals and to their plans as well. And they all begin to agree that things are about to get a hell lot messy and a lot worse than they actually did from the very, very last time as well. On the 29th of October, the Red Queen was able to exactly meet up with the Red King on the throne room, on the actual throne room of the Red Empire, and exactly told her that she made a big mistake in challenging the Universal Magic Heroes and the mighty Universal Magic Heroes and the mighty Universal Magic Girl. Regardless of that, the Red King exactly told the Red Queen that he's very pleased with her devotion and with her true obligation to the cause and all of that, and that it's time that he actually introduces her to his powerful associate as well. On the actual 14th of November, the mighty Red King brought the Red Queen to the central headquarters of the Court of Nature, where she was completely reintroduced to the members of the organization. The other members seemed very skeptical to seeing the mighty Red Queen, as they told the Red King that he made a very, very quietly good decision in exactly choosing this witch to becoming his systematical wife. The leader and founder of the organization, known as Lord Jackson, told exactly the Red King that he made a big mistake in showing the Red Queen the members of the Court of Nature. Regardless of that, the Red Queen exactly began to reassure the members of the Court of Nature that to remain their allies and their true, sinister, unknown allies and their greatest associate throughout the operations and throughout their goal, and she's willing to lend them her resources and her connections that she quietly has as well. And despite that, she's willing to prove them by any means necessary. And her loyalty and her devotion to the Court of Nature's organization, to the Court of Nature's goals and mission as well in the process. Lord Jackson was very quietly skeptical of the Red Queen's devotion and decided it's best that the Red King will be the one to decide how to move forward with all of this planning and everything else, with these wife's plan, which he doesn't exactly want to get involved. But regardless of that, the Court of Nature's secrets must never be revealed to anyone else, rather to the members or to the enforcer of the organization or to the associate. it only stays within the inner circle. And the Red King began to agree with Lord Jackson on that point of view as well. On the 10th of December, the Red Queen was quietly meditating within her dark crystal chamber in order to have some sort of peace of mind after meeting up with the most dangerous and powerful, sinister criminals of all time. In order to grab some some clarity on what exactly is about to come up next. On the 9th of January, on the actual 9th of January, the Red Queen was able to reunite with her daughters, who are the most powerful, dark, sinister Red Witches of the Red Empire, within the throne room of the Red Empire, and told her daughters that she's completely proud of them, that they managed to become sinister and powerful, devious, ancient witches of all throughout the Red Empire's history. Regardless of that, the Red King exactly entered the throne room and told her daughters that he has a different mission and a powerful assignment for them that they need to complete if they're up to the task. The two daughters exactly asked their father how long would the assignment exactly take. The Red King exactly told her daughters it'll depend on the outcome of the operation, if they're willing to succeed or if they're willing to come up with a backup plan or a different phase of a plan in order to defeat the number one top enemies and the obstacles that stand in the way, and which are the universal heroes and the world heroes and the united heroes, which the Red Princesses of the Red Empire began actually saying that, and the Red King began to agree on that matter as well. On the 20th of February, the Red Queen was able to meet up with the Red Empire warlords on the throne room, beginning exactly telling them that the planning and orchestrations of everything else must go on accordingly the way it's intended to be, and that nothing can ever exactly interrupt it. If all else exactly fails, the entire operation will fail with it as well. And the Red Empire warlords began to agree with the Queen that they have the situation under control as well. On the 17th of March, the Red Queen was able to meet up with her followers on her secretive laboratory, where she told them that they had to exactly proceed forward with the experiment's notation now that they know exactly what they have to do. On the actual 12th of April, the Red Queen was able to reconvene with the most powerful sinister ancient shadowy astral projections of the most dangerous super criminals of all sacred history, and begin exactly telling them that she's completely inside the ranks of the court of nature and that she's ready to move forward with the next step of the operation. And the other shadowy astral projection of the sinister ancient criminal told her that now the real work and the real mission begins, and it's time to cripple the court of nature's operation within the inside of their ranks, that by doing so will give the universal heroes and the united heroes the opportunity for them to cripple the entire future plans and goals in a process, which in doing so will pave a way for their goals and for their goals and for their long-term plan to begin working in order to speeding up the process in the very, very future plans. And the Red Queen was very delighted as she began telling the members what's the next step of the plan now. On the actual 19th of May, the Red Queen told the Red King that her mysterious associates were very pleased with the news and that she's ready for the next phase of the operation. And the Red King exactly told her now the plan cannot begin the way it was intended to be. On the 14th of June, the Red Queen was able to reconvene with her dark red magic users on another asteroid base, which was also another one that houses the top scientific abominations and the creations of their own monsters and creatures that are partly kept in stasis hibernation pod. And she exactly told her followers that the operation and the experiments to enhance the soldiers of the Red Empire and their forces and their mercenaries cannot begin taking place, which the magic users told her that they were able to conjure up a nice, good experiment notation of a soldier of the Four Nation Hunter who can infiltrate the Four Nation Hunter intergalactic coalition within their very, very ranks. And the Red Queen exactly told her followers, now they can begin. Despite this, guys, the Red Queen is very powerful, very sinister, very ancient, and very, very, very a devious, manipulative witch of all time. She is known by many aliases, known as the Red powerful witch and known as the blood red witch of all sacred history. And she's very merciless, ruthless, ambitious. She has a dark ambition and a thirst for dark power and for total destruction, which she quietly exactly has within her own very quietly power. Due to her immortality and her long gravity, she believes in the obligation and in the mission of the court of nature and in the Red Empire's true philosophy in conquering, slaving whole worlds and whole civilization in a process, and by making the leaders of the Red Empire and the members of the court of nature the sole sufficient rulers of the entire known universe and of the rest of sacred existence in the process. She's very skillful in deception, manipulation, has the power of 12 leveling intellect, the power of great intelligence, the power of greater teleportation, the power of great convergence, of opening portals, mind control, levitation, telekinesis, telepathic communication, and also with the power of infusing herself with shadow energy and also with wild energy, and the power of shape shifting, which she can easily shapeshift herself and change her appearance into a different type of a woman, and the color of her skin, which can be a red skin or a purple or a dark skin, and her eyes can shift and change color as well, which she can actually do as well by her own true appearance, granted by the powers of her immortality and her long gravity as well. And she's very good in censoring and in detecting enemies in a very far distance away, and also with the ability of seeing through everything with her very eyes, through her meditation and all of that. She's very highly observant, and she quietly grows fond of universal magic and of the universal heroes, which she has a great fascination of confronting universal magical and the rest of the members of the universal heroes, which she learns through her failures and not repeating them by underestimating the members of the universal magic heroes and the members of the universal magic heroes and the leader of the universal magic heroes known as Magic Girl, which she quietly grew a very obsessional, a very different destructive obsession of a fascination with universal magical, since the both of them have confronted each other on a lost battle, which she learns not to underestimate her abilities or undermine the members of the universal magic heroes and the members of the universal heroes as well, which she learns not to repeat her failings again. She's very good in summoning resurrection with the power of conjuring dark magical orbs of matter, manipulating red magic and energy at will, and with the power of leading a group of powerful, formidable red druids, red witches, red faithful at will, and they actually view her as the greatest high priestess and leader of their own order and of their own dark red religious group of dark magic users, and they literally follow her command and her every wishes as well. Combining their dark magic and their powers and their abilities all together makes them powerful and extremely dangerous dark mages under the leadership of the Red Queen as well. He's extremely immortal, has a dark desire to conquer the entire sacred magic universe, and she's willing to do whatever it takes to conquer it and to ruling it by even forming sinister alliances with dangerous, powerful ancient shadowy criminals who come from different ancient shadowy criminal elite organization, and by using their resources and also by giving them her resources and her connections, and also as well as her influential connections to the Red Empire's resources in order for them to use them to furthering their own goals and their own plans. She's very trustworthy, highly obedient, very ambitious, highly determined, very good and very clever, very crafty and very highly strictly intelligent, highly observant, keen-minded, also very aggressive and very distrustful on anyone else who enters the Red Empire. She loves her children with all her heart, and she loves the people of the Red Empire, and especially the Red King. She's solely devoted to him. She's even willing to protect him and willing to die for him. She even cares so much about his obsession and his true goals and his true missions, which exactly blind him from his true destiny and his true mission, that she's even willing to protect him and his true health and his true immortality powers as well at risk. She loves the sun and the princesses of the Red Empire and the rest of the forces of the Red Empire, and those who don't exactly disrespect her or respect her properly will suffer her worth or face her reckoning. She's very good in keeping her mysterious allies such as the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders secretive and also very quietly good in keeping alliances with the other sinister warlords and commanders of different empires. Very secretive to herself and very quietly good in understanding the goals of the Red Empire and also the organization's goals of the Court of Nature as well, and the balance of its true purpose and its true missions. Due to her immortality, she's very powerful, very dangerous. She knows sacred history inside and out, and she learns it all completely. Very dedicated, very resourceful, very kind. She studies ancient paintings of ancient dark, mythical dark druids and dark creatures and dark animal creatures that possess the power to giving them more power and more greater sinister magic and all of that, which literally enhance their abilities and their future powers as well, which makes them extremely immortal. And she very much grew a fascination relationship with the vampire queen, who is also known as quietly as the ex-fiance of the vampire king as well. Despite that, the two of them are quietly great friends and they still love each other and respect each other, despite them being born from different supernatural empires and nations of the sacred world and of the sacred universe as well. But they do have one thing in common. They despise and hate the Four Nation Hunters and the rest of the Universal Heroes alliances and of their allies and of the rest of them. She's so good in maintaining her individual bases as well as her hideouts, which are quietly scattered throughout the entire Sacred Great Nations lands, places, lands, waterfalls, places, and caves where she literally conjures up her dark experiments, notations in full secrecy and within the shadows. And she's very loyal to the Red King and to the members of the Court of Nature and to the rest of her sinister associate and to the rest of her forces as well. And she maintains the central headquarters of her laboratory and her central headquarters of her laboratory, which currently resides within the Red Empire's capital, the Red Empire nation's capital borders and nations of his entire fleet. It is thanks to the Red Witch Queen and to her forces of her followers that the Red Empire's advancement of its technologies are highly more powerful and highly more adaptable and more highly evolving throughout the following centuries. It is thanks to them and to her unique techniques and abilities and experiments and to her research on all of that she's managed to create highly destructive technology that the Court of Nature has managed to simplify to literally sharing it to the operatives and to the rest of their sources and to the rest of the associate as well, which makes the organization totally dangerous and very sinister and very powerful. She's very good and very super strategist and a very wiser technician, given with the power of transformation, levitation, telepathic communication, and also with the power of conjuring up a dark magical crystal eye spying bubble in order to watch and see her enemies as well. Very ruthless, merciless, but still kind within her deep personality, but also skeptical and also very highly observant. She knows that Universal Magical poses a threat to her operation and everything else, but she's still not willing to destroy her or either take her down in a very different way as well. Well, that's it for today's episode, guys. I all hope you have a wonderful, great day and a very much of a blessed weekend I'll actually see you on Monday. Right now, I'm gonna actually upload this episode to TikTok and the other episode to Shorts as well. For those of you who are actually watching long videos, you'll receive it on Monday morning as well. So I'm grateful for your guys' support. Please continue to liking and subscribing my channel and have a wonderful, blessed weekend. I'll actually see you on Monday and take care of yourself and may God bless you and may you love yourself. Today's episode was about the Red Queen, who is actually the wife of the Red King, or rather the monarch of the Red Empire. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna write the sentence or the description, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, enjoy your day and your great weekend. Be warm and be safe and be happy. See you on Monday and have a lovely weekend and a lovely day. Bye and take care. Bye.